be live?
Should be getting there. It takes it a minute.
Okay. Oh, looks like we are. Let's see. Yep.
Get rid of the echo. There we are. We're live. Now all I need to do is, if I had a brain, I'd flip this around the other way so I can see the screen, so I can adjust this. Okay, folks, I'm just trying to get the technical stuff in this tiny room set up, so bear with me. Now, I got to see if I've got, no, that's not going to make it. Move this thing out of the way. That'll catch most of the birds. Now I have to move this perch out of there. Fighting this tiny space here. Yes, Bob, you're next. Let's get actually right after Cecil. Hi guys, this is Chloe's Sanctuary, cockatoos with attitude, trying to get Cecil out. I'm working in a very tiny space. I should have been a boiler technician in the Navy instead of a swabby. Come here. Come here, boy. Come on. I think I see a Cecil. Okay, let's get a Bob. Come on. Come on, Babaloo. Come on. Ah, there we go. A couple of birds. Yeah, a couple of birds. Oh, Bob, you need some wood? No. I doubt that'll be enough for an hour. Are you going to play with that first? Okay. Bob's hiding down here on the side of me. Hi, guys. Hello. Bob, can you say hello? Cecil, where are you going? What are you doing?
Oh,
what
look
are you
at
doing?
The boys. Sweet, sweet, sweet boys.
I can reach more wood. I'm going to need to do that. This is not going to be enough wood for them. Hold on, guys. Ah, watch it, Bob. I don't want to sit on you. Here, it's not a piece of wood. Oh, you want one of those rattles? Okay, you can get to a rattle. You guys calm down now. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get to a rattle.
Babaloo, babaloo, babaloo. Are you helping, Bob?
Okay, yeah, mess around
Such
here,
a good babaloo boy.
There's Cecil. What are you doing, Bob? Oh, you lost your toy.
So hello to everyone. In chat, we have already Jocelyn Dregel, a beautiful life. Lisa Banerjee and Falkense. Welcome to you and welcome to all the other persons.
Okay, Bob, you lost that one toy.
Today, Don needs to be inside because the weather outside is terrible. There's a storm, so it's far too cold and too windy to be outside. So he tries to keep the birds entertained inside.
Yeah, and I have to do it in rotation. So, are you tearing that apart already? You can't shake it. These ones don't last. I have some of the other ones. I can't get to them now. I have some of the ones that are stronger. He takes these things. He was rattling one yesterday. And, now he just
And in
pulls
the
them apart.
background, you can hear the snowball saying snowball. Snowball.
Snowball.
That's the snowball.
Snowbird. A little bird? A little bird? I think you're a big bird. What is it with you tearing these apart the second you get them? What is going on? Yeah? Yeah, those ones don't work. I can't buy those. They're not gonna work. What are you doing? What's inside? I don't want to get. Wait a minute. Give me. Cecil. All right. You're not gonna cough it up, are you? What's inside that thing? That's what I'm trying to see. Nothing. I don't see anything inside of it. You already dropped it. Okay. Silly bird. Well, hi, everybody. This is kind of an unusual situation, but it's rainy and cold out there. About 6 degrees centigrade. That's about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere in that range. Too cold for birds. And the wind chill factor is not good either. We have a lot of wind with this one. So. Right, birds? Right? What do you think? So I'm taking them out in turn. This is the boy's turn. These two boys. This boy. All right, Cecil. These two need to be interchanged with wood and toys most of the time. Some of the others just want to be petted a little bit and hang out on my shoulder, but these two like to play, don't you? Don't you? That's my big boy. So, yeah, raffle was officially over 8 minutes ago, and right at about 100 tickets out. So Salamander will pull those out tomorrow at noon. Is that right, Amy?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That our lucky fairy Mander
likes playing with
pulls
cardboard,
the winning ticket, so we can send the raffle package goodies to the person who won.
Hey.
So we have a couple of other people join. Where did I stop? So Erin is here. Hello, Erin. Michelle Thompson is here. Hello. And Doris joined us. And Susie Q, of course. So welcome to everyone.
There's a little better. I'm trying to get a better angle on the camera, considering, Bob, would you quit uncovering my stomach? He likes to do that. I have no clue why.
Mm-hmm. And thanks to everyone who participated in the raffle. So I think we had also our fun. So telling Mander that he will be the the lucky fairy.
Get the big look in his eyes, like, what are you trying to tell me? What do I have to do? Does it have something to do with cardboard? Okay. He'll look at me if there isn't enough cardboard for him to chew in his cage. It's mating season, of course. So he's not showing any signs of aggression or anything because of mating season, but he's certainly chewing cardboard. You guys, you're in a spot where people can't see you. Why is it you chose that spot? I can try moving the camera. This is not going to be easy. Let's see. Okay. Bob. There's Bob. Cecil, where'd you go? No, Cecil, get down here. Cecil. Oh, no. That was sneaky. Get over here. Come here. Cecil, come here. Cecil. You little pest. Well, I gotta go get him. He's got up on Jasmine's cage. No, you're not gonna sit on Jasmine's cage. Come here. Come here. No, no, no. This is how birds lose their toes, getting on someone else's cage. So can't have that. Ugh. None of that. Nope, we're not doing that. Come here. I'm sorry if I upset you, but you're not climbing up there again. No. You hear me? I said no. Here. You like these. Have one of those. Bob, you're not stealing it from him. You've got wood. No, don't steal it from him. I'm trying to get him interested in something. Come here. They won't go keep. You're not climbing that. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. You yelled at me because I tried to stop you from climbing the cage again. Yep. You saw your opportunity, didn't you? Yeah. Sees the camera. He's not stupid. He says, this guy's got a camera up, so he's not paying full attention. I can do what I want. And then, of course, Bob has to steal the toy that somebody else has. Usually Cecil's toy. Where are you going? What are you doing? Yeah, the one that's doing the worst is, of course, Sugar. I got her out for about 20 minutes today, but then she starts flapping around. She just wants to go outside, so she won't let me. I got to hold her a little bit in my hand. She doesn't like to be like held up against you or anything. So I held her and I petted her beak for about 20 minutes, and then she just wouldn't have any more of it. She wanted to go inside her cage or outside, preferably outside. So. What, Snowball? What'd you say? Now, this isn't one of the days I can take the camera and move it around, because as soon as I get my attention off this little guy, he's going to go where he wants to go. Such an innocent looking little cockatoo. Isn't he so innocent? Are you innocent? You are?
So now in chat we have Serenity Butterfly, Gith042, and Kaisei. So hello.
Hi. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm going to have my attention pretty focused on these two. I've got the two, the ones I really have to keep track of, but.
We have an interesting story here in the chat. So Jocelyn is telling us about her cockatoo who loves to travel with her in the plane. So when she comes up with the carrier, he walks straight inside it. That's cool. That's really cool.
That is. There's usually you have to train them to do that. So you're lucky when they just do it without any training whatsoever.
Maybe she has trained him or her. Maybe. No, it's a he. A he. But that's
no snowball. No snowball. That's how I got Sugar. She was in a dog carrier. I look in there and I see this bird. There's no feathers pretty much below the neck. And big feathers, you know how she gets, all stuck out, looking at me from inside that carrier. Would you take this bird with you? Yes.
And they all seem to know the first time they see you that you are a bird person. So it was that way with Pippa, and it was that way with the Shuggy bird.
They seem to know it. I don't know how they know it, but they do. What are you doing, Cecil?
Maybe you have already adapted the right body language and, I don't know, the kind of behavior the bird just knows.
Well, I know one thing for certain, I don't show any signs of fear, so I'm not afraid of being bitten. You can't hide it, so they can tell if they're afraid. So capillary response on the skin, they can read it like we can read a thermometer. Only better. Their eyes are better. I'm sure that's part of it. There's no fear, and then I'm accepting. I can tell when they're nervous. I will stand there until they're not nervous, or I'll take a step back. I play the little dance, but don't usually have to do that for very long, and they're like right over to me. So they come right over. Babaloo, how you doing? Oh, he's nesting. He's digging. Hi, Bob. You nesting there, kid? I might go through a lot of wood here today. He's doing his nesting routine. Oh, you got that now. Okay. Nut. You're not going over there. That, yeah, you saw me talking to Bob, so you went over here. He's just too smart. You guys. He'll sit and preen, and then when I tension somewhere else, he'll dart up there again. I'll have to walk around and get him off the top of the cage. Which isn't easy to do because that was Jasmine's original cage. I'd like her in a larger one, but it's okay. I mean, she can flap her wings without a problem. The rest of these cages are good for night cages and not much else, with the exception of Cecil's. So, nope, we're not doing that. I told you, no, we're not going up there. We're not doing that. No, we're not. We're not going to go up there. We? Are you using the royal we? Oh, I got to hit the admit button. Oh, no. Can you? Oh, you did it. Good. Thank you. I couldn't do it. I forgot Amy could let somebody into the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, Eleanor is here.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hi guys. Hello.
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 We have the only thing that's keeping this from being a static picture is I have two active birds here. I don't believe he took that. Usually if you hand him something, he throws it away. There it goes.
Is it
I'm
Bob
glad
and
we got
Cecil out with you?
Yep. The two most active birds, so you guys have something to watch.
Well, they look like they're being good boys at the moment.
Yeah, I kind of, yesterday I kind of taught them how they needed to behave, which is whenever they tried to leave my lap, I said no. So, Bob, what are you doing? Good boy. So we have some movement on the moves, but I've got to do some accounting work. I know how much we have to show we're bringing in a month, so I got to do some accounting. I got to do some record keeping and stuff like that, and then we'll see if we can get a pre-approval roaming so we can get moved.
But things are happening.
They're happening. Well, let's put it this way. Once I get the information she wants, so I have to go back through our records and everything, we'll get moving. It may take still may take a couple of months, but
progress is being made by the sounds of things, so that's awesome.
Yep. I wish it could be faster. These guys they're especially not taking this today. And we have, with winter, there are going to be days like this because it's the way it works in Southern California. You get a few days where it's cold out. Then they can go back outside. It'll be cold, but not freezing. So right now it would be miserable outside. And we have the wind too, so all of the donations we've received have really helped. And although I
Oh my
can't take the money I've donated off as a tax write-off. You're not allowed to do that as an executive director, but I can show the donation, so that's more income for us. So
Well, look at
the
Bab
nice part.
kicking his feet. That's so cute.
And they don't get to know where it comes from either. So
Yeah.
right, Bob? So I think it'll work. It's just I got to sit down and go through figures, which is my favorite job. Yeah, absolutely. My least favorite job is doing that.
Bob.
Although I found another accounting package that I hate using QuickBooks, and I found something else. I want to transfer it all over to this, and it can take your bank statements and import all that. So I just hate QuickBooks. I hate the company. It's like the world's worst company.
Mm.
Everybody wants to use, huh?
Sorry, I keep speaking over you. The only one I've ever used is Sage. Sage accounting.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. It's just that it's probably the only other one. I don't have that one, but I have QuickBooks, and yeah, it's just that a lot of the accountants say, "Oh, we only use QuickBooks." Over here, you want, believe me, you want Sage. You definitely don't want QuickBooks. That's how I got back into Apple computers, actually. Baba Lou, stop that. Stop it. Yo, stop it, you big toasted bird. It's toasty in here too. This room gets warm. Stop it. Quit lifting my shirt up. You need more wood? No, stop that. Stop it. That face. It's the cutest face, I swear. I love you, Bob. Gotta keep my finger on my shirt, or it will keep pulling it up. You toad? Yeah, I'm gonna stop you. Yeah, at that time I still had a Windows system, and I had iPhones, but I didn't have a Mac, and QuickBooks just stopped working. So I called them up, and they tried to blame it on the Microsoft's Foundation software. And I said, "Excuse me, if I buy a car from somebody and they tell me, oh, the steel in the rear tranny section, the steel we bought from whatever country, Indonesia or whatever, that steel wasn't good, and we're not responsible," I'd say, "I'm going to see you in court." Took them 6 hours to fix the problem, but they stayed with me and fixed it, right? And of course, it did have something to do with Microsoft's Foundation software, but they chose to use it, so they were legally responsible. And I sat back in the chair and looked at the ceiling, and I said, "I'm going to make a phone call." So I called Apple, and 2 days later, I had my first Mac. So. And it's funny, QuickBooks does not crash on that, but it's still a horrible software. It's more designed to be government controlled than anything else. You make an entry and you can't undo it. You make a mistake, you're not allowed to undo it. You have to go in and make like a correction that then it's just a real pain. I hate it. So you can tell I'm going to be having fun because I have to come up with a record they want me doing. You're not supposed to be over there either. Come here. Come on. He sneaks away. Come here. Come here. Come on. Well done, Cecil. You got up on your cage. Yes. Mm-hmm. You don't need to go up there. I know you want to move around. I don't blame you.
Thinks no snowball wants out.
Yeah, but I have to watch Snowball, and he'll go over to get on top of Lorelei's cage and harass Lorelei. And if I have more than two birds out, and especially two that draw my attention, like these two, and the chair, I have another little chair that I can bring in here, but they can't sit in my lap if I do that. So will you stop with my shirt? And so I can't have him out, right? Yeah, without having another calm bird out with him. So, and actually, he'll be out with Pippa. He and Pippa get along just fine. So, hi, Bob. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob. Hello. Little Babaloo.
Babaloo.
Well, Mitravita95 has joined the chat and says, keep up the good work. So thank you, Mitravita.
Thank you. It's tough right now trying to keep these birds happy under the circumstances, but small room, they don't get out as much. You know, when you take them outside, they can each be out for, you know, the groups can come out for a couple hours each, you know, for 4 hours. But here we're talking, I'm lucky to get them all out for an hour and a half each. So because I still have cages to clean and food to make and all that stuff. So tap, 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 tap. That means Bob's getting frisky, so we have to watch him. Leave my shirt alone. That's going to be the phrase to drink for today, people who want it. Stop it. Now, would you cut it out? Come here. Come here. Come here. Well, you need to be cleaned up a little bit too, Bob. If I can get to oh, there they are. If I can bend over that far, here we go.
Well, Dirty Birds Inc. has joined the chat. So hello, Dirty Birds Inc. And he says, I have an umbrella that needs to mate. He is always frisky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know how that feels.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do. You can change the environment around so that I have nesting materials, make sure they aren't getting too frisky with their toys. Keep toys in there that they'll play with. No, you're not going over there. Well done. You saw me distracted again. You know, I'll give you more wood if you want it, but I don't think you do. Oh, there he goes. That's what I get for thinking. Hey, let him have it. Babaloo. These two, just like brothers. Hey, Bob. Where are you going? Babaloo. Hello. Kisses? Kisses? Oh, good boy. No, you're not going to throw the wood down and then climb on your cage. No. No. Come here. You're not allowed to go over there. You're going to get yourself hurt. Now, during mating season especially, you want to not pet them too much. Babaloo. 5 minutes is about max on the head and not down anywhere else. Unless you've been trained, if you've taken ABA and you've studied the species, you can probably change that a bit. But that's like a race car driver. I mean, you don't drive drive around curves at 70 miles an hour unless you're a race car driver. So you don't want to take a chance sliding off the road and dying, then you don't do that. But if you're a race car driver, that's what you learn to do. So. And it's kind of like race car driving in that, because you can end up with some unfriendly situations. Ah, hi. They're both being good. They're both just high energy. So, right, Cecil? Your name isn't Cecil. You're Bob. Bob,
You can tell the difference between Bob and Cecil. Both little balls of fluff and craziness.
he looked up because I was giving attention to Cecil instead of him. So
Oh, I'm getting jealous.
he knows his name. It's just like, don't be calling his name. You're supposed to call me. Snowbird?
Oh, well, Dirty Birds was saying, oh, you know, I'd like to breed and have babies. I want them all. And then we're all just like, well, yeah, they're super cute, but please don't breed in captivity. So
Yeah, they're not going to be happy if you do that.
That's the thing, because, you know, they're so cute and you want them. And I mean, Dawn, you got Lorelei when she was a baby when you didn't know better, but it's just, you know,
Yep.
It's like if you bring a life into this world, what's going to happen to it, you know?
Exactly. And they live a long time, so it's hard for us to prepare for what's going to happen to them later. And they're expensive to keep. Veterinary bills can wipe you out, right? I mean, we went to the vet and our bill there was over $700. So, and what was the final word on it? Probably doesn't need antibiotics, but has a mild infection of E. coli. And if she gains her weight back, we aren't going to mess with it, because the problem with antibiotics is that when you lower it kills all the bacteria, right? So when you lower and it also lowers the immune system. So if you lower the immune system, they can pick up a virus a lot easier. So do you really want to do that? So she was up to 620 this morning. So
Oh, good for Lorelei.
She's almost back to where she should be, and her droppings are looking better. So are sugars. They're not perfect yet, but sugars are looking better. So something's going around. It must be, and they're right next to each other. So where are you going? You need more. You got wood. What do you want? Are you eating my chair?
If maybe some of Lorelei's food was spoiled or something, and then, you know, she ate it and upset her tummy, and then sugar got it off her or something.
I don't know. I pressure cooked the food, and then it goes in the refrigerator. So
yeah, but you never know. I mean,
no, you don't.
Bacteria are everywhere.
That's why I do the pressure cooking. Come here, because pressure cooking kills things like listeria. It doesn't kill everything, though. It will kill listeria, botulism, and salmonella, but there are other things out there that it won't kill. So certain viruses it won't, some bacteria it won't.
And E. coli can come from us as well. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
without E. coli, we'd be dead.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. You know, there's more bacteria inside our bodies than there are actual human body cells.
Yeah,
which is
right.
Like creepy to think about, but anyway,
we're more like a colony than we are a individual. Yeah.
Oh, look at Bob's little feet going again. Oh my god, that's so cute. You see, that's nesting behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable though.
It can cause him to be a little territorial about my lap, though, but he's not bad about it. He's learned to listen to me anyway. He usually won't start a fight if I tell him not to. He might shake his head at me. He shapes it up and down when he's saying no, but he wants to do something I don't want him to do. He's going to shake his head up and down. And I'm going to do it anyway. So. I know you're not going to take it. I'm just getting your attention. What are you doing? You don't want a toy or something? I wish I brought one of those other balls in. You rip that thing up. But extricating myself from here would be a major operation. And with the two birds out, I really can't. I can't think of anything else you'd like to play with. That's only about 2 minutes worth of work, but we'll see if I'll play with one of these. You want one of these? He likes them, but they don't last long. He tears them up. No, he threw it. No, you're not going over there, big boy.
Also,
And then-
so Dirty Bird says that they have a, sorry, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but they have an orange-winged parrot called Winston, an umbrella cockatoo called Ace, and a parakeet called Banana. Well, that's cute.
That's cute. Yeah.
Has anyone seen Twinkie the parakeet? Because he's yellow and he kind of looks like a banana, so might be a twin. Oh, you're a she. Oh, hello.
What are you doing? Bob, what are you thinking about? Bob's making plans over here. What are you thinking about? Yeah, we had a socialization room inside, which is what we want for the sanctuary when we get one, is a room where they can go when they can't go outside. Or when we're done being outside, if it's going to be a hot day or a cold day, you know, if they can be out for a little while, they can come in and be there. But here, they can't all be out. And they can't be in a room with a bunch of cages. It has to be a separate room. So you can have rope. I had to get rid of that thing, but I made this big rope net that went on the ceiling. I can make another one, but you know, places where they can go and play and get away from each other, and you know, it's a separate room. So we don't have that here. We have a dangerous situation, which is a bunch of cages that have birds in them. And even if you get them all out at the same time, I mean, how do you get to them if they start fighting? Because there's not much room. And if one climbs in a cage, you can bite the other bird's toe off before you have anything to do about it. In a playroom, you can get around all those problems, majority of them anyway. But not yet. Right, Cecil? No, we're not going over there. Come
See,
here.
Bob's off. He's giving us a demonstration of what not to do.
Oops. You guys. No snowball? No snowball.
No snowball.
No, you don't do that. Sooner or later, he will do that. Which is, he goes from my AirPods. Move them one side to the other. You could do that, I guess. Get them out of my pocket. You're not going on the other side. No, you're not going over there for it. No, no, no. Nope. They keep me from going deaf, but I want to be buying more of them. Sure, Bob. Certainly cheaper than hearing aids. And I don't think the VA is going to give me hearing aids. So.
That's too bad.
Which is the only medical I have is the VAs. That's why it's taking so long to get the house. If the interest rates hadn't gone up so much, then it would be easier to get a home. So we're doing this through the VA to make it so we can afford the monthly mortgage payment. No snowball? Are you sure?
Oh, it was so cute yesterday when he was snuggling on your lap. It was adorable.
Yeah, he's a good snuggler. I heard this crunchy noise, and because of my AirPods, I couldn't figure out what it was. It's salamanders chewing cardboard behind me. No snowball. No snowball.
Oh yes, everybody, please like and subscribe so that Snowball can get more snuggles.
He's a great snuggler. That snowball. As long as you don't have birds that he pays attention to out. So you have to keep the pink birds in their cages, and then you have to put somebody out, another bird that he ignores, and he pretty much ignores Pippa. So they have some kind of agreement together. Right, big boy? Sorry, you don't need to choke yourself on that. Well, there's stuff for you to play with down here, but I don't know what you want to play with.
Uh-oh, he's escaping. Oh no.
Bob!
Oh, yep.
Don't.
Oh, hello.
Thank you. Very sneaky, Bob. We're not doing that. Here.
Oh, and Eliza Vince is here. So hello, Eliza.
Hello, Eliza.
She says cockatoo snuggles are the best antidepressant ever.
Yes, they are. No, we just need to know that Eliza's last name is Doolittle.
Or GTH42 says that cockatoos should come with a 3D printer and an audiologist.
Who knows? They may have them hiding somewhere, these guys. I got that out for... Go ahead, sorry.
It would be good
No,
if
you
you
go
could 3D print those balls that Cecil likes with the thing inside, the bashy balls.
Yeah, he goes through them pretty fast. The other ones, though, the ones I'm going to have to get the ones from Amazon. Maybe they have that's a wholesaler. The problem we have a wholesaler that's all the way across the country, but the people who work in there, I had a box. I think I had the box weighed less than it was about 12 pounds, I think. And they tried to charge me $60 to send it across the country. I know better than that. I used to work shipping UPS. The box cost them 20, and they're trying to make money. And I know the vet that runs the business would not be happy to know this, but the last thing you want to do is piss off the people working in the warehouse, because that doesn't work out for you either. So they might have them. I'm not sure if I'll save any money, because they're going to charge me so much in freight. If I was living around that place, I could go in there and take over the warehouse for him. And I bet that would make a lot more money. He loses a lot of what they don't have. They don't back order, so I don't even tell you they don't have it. They just ship without the item, and that's the end of it. Oh, they need some direction at that place. I have another wholesaler I buy parts from, and that's good, and they're on the West Coast, but right, Cecil, what are you doing? And I brought this so you'd have something to chew on. What are you doing, Bob?
So we have a question from Eliza. She wants to know if your cockatoos are molting too.
Actually, I have only seen a cockatoo molt once. They don't do it terribly often. Normally what they do is they'll drop a feather on each side. So like 2 primaries, 2 secondaries within a day or so. Pretty well balanced. Unlike, stop that, Bob. Unlike true parrots that will lose most of their feathers at once, these guys don't do it. Normally, once in a while, maybe once every 10 years, we don't know why they do it, but no, I mean, they molt all year long, and it's just 2 feathers at a time. So if you have a cockatoo that's losing a bunch of feathers, it's probably feather recessive behavior. I hate to say that, but It could be molting. It does happen, but it's rare. As I say, I've not seen a bird. Actually, I did see Roman do it 1 year, but he didn't lose that many feathers. He was losing, I think he lost about 30 feathers, but that doesn't normally happen with cockatoos. I hope that answered the question. Yeah, the problem with molting is the birds that molt, they can't fly for that period of time where the new feathers are coming in. These guys can. If they don't lose all their feathers, they can still fly.
Well, my budgies can always fly even when they have strong molt. It's like you only see they are molting because of the pin feathers and the feather on the floor. It always, when you come inside the room, you think, oh no, someone has got all the feathers from my budgie, and then you look at the budgie, no, he's still full feathered. So I don't know how they do it, but they can lose a ton of feathers without that you see it, really.
Well, for one thing, they don't weigh that much compared to the bigger birds. The bigger birds, if they lose a bunch of feathers, don't fly terribly well. They might be able to go a short distance, but they don't. They're going to have to use a lot more energy than usual just to get going. You lose flights. These bigger birds lose the flight feathers. They weigh too much to compensate. Conures and birds of that size, they can still flit around when they've lost most of their feathers. But these guys, they're pretty much lead balloons. They have a 45-degree angle to their flight pattern if they lose a lot of feathers. I can say that because I've had birds with feather destructive who lost it. Jasmine does a good job flying now, but when she first got here, stop it, Bob. When she first got here, she was doing the nosedive into when she tried to fly because she had so many primary feathers that were damaged.
And Romeo has 4 missing, and he can barely even balance standing still, let alone fly.
Yeah, with just 4, he can't fly normally, and they're flight feathers. So, stop it. He loves it when I say that. It doesn't mean anything to him. I can say stop it all day long. The word is
Gif
no.
has a comment which I think is made for you, Don. He says shipping is crazy. We have oodles of pine trees, some with football American-sized cones. Your price for clean pine cones is cheaper than I figured out how to ship them.
Yeah, I know. I'm really happy that somebody who actually knows birds and has birds takes care of this. So because they clean them, they wash them, they put them in the oven to get rid of any mold or anything that might be in them. They do all the stuff they're supposed to do. And then they ship the 100 pine cones for $127, freight prepaid. So, yeah, I'm happy that I found them. Originally, I found them because of her, because of pointing the wrong direction, because of Sugar, because I needed to find a leather collar, and they make leather collars. And at least I thought I did until I figured out what dosage to give her. She was just constantly tearing into herself. But I got her on the right medication level and she stopped doing it. But she had leather collars, several different kinds of leather collars. She had plastic collars. She'd rather be dead than wear one, I think. She absolutely hates them. I don't like to use the word. Let's put it this way. She gets on the floor, she screams, and she just pushes herself along trying to take them off.
Yeah, you can see in the old videos how much she disliked it. She looked kind of humiliated to be wearing a collar, really.
Some birds can tolerate them, but they're not good for the neck, too, because anything they wear around their neck is going to start causing scar tissue. And eventually that scar tissue can make it hard for the blood to get to the brain. So yeah, the usual response is, well, it doesn't bother me if they don't have feathers. Well, yeah, it's just the end result is not good, you know. Death is not something you want for your bird, and that's what the Basaba manual, and they have a flow chart, and at the end, and it's the old information, but that the end is generally death from infection or loss of blood. So
it's like having a human that self-harms or something. I mean, you can say, yeah, you know, like the scars don't bother me and how they look, but if
Bob, don't do it.
Injuring themselves,
Good
then
boy.
that's not good.
No, you're not going up. No, you're not going over there either. Hey, you two, you're not double teaming me now. Bob, kisses. Kisses. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Because it's getting him to do a behavior, which his kisses was to distract him from what he was thinking. Because we're both looking at Cecil's cage like, we're going over there. No, you're not going over there. It's boring for him, you know, to have to sit on my lap, but at least they get a little attention.
Oh, hello.
And I have to, at 2.5 hours from now, I have to clean cages, get their medicine for them, prepare their evening stuff. And then I'll have a couple of birds I take out at night when it's like this. We just had that socialization. We could all come out and have fun. And pretty much I can get them all into it. So it's easier in there than it is in the aviary. Because they have little spots they can go to and hide away from others. And it's not as aggressive as it is out in the aviary, but not that it's that bad out there, it's not, but. So I started taking birds out this morning at 9:30. And I still have Lorelei to take out and Pippa, and Romeo won't come out. He's not happy about that at all. And Mander needs to come out a little bit more. He wasn't out that long. Hey, Bob. What are you doing? I put that up there because Cecil wasn't doing anything, and now you're playing with it. Oh, well. Cecil knew I gave it to him, though. He's one of those birds that if you give him something, he doesn't want it. He wants to find his own toy, so. Right, Cecil? And Bob likes what he's stolen, so. Kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawlers at the beginning. That's Bob. No.
Bob's a good bird.
Yeah. He is a good bird, but he knows it bugs me when he grabs my shirt and lifts it up. So he does it just to get my attention. And he's actually controlling me with that behavior. I just ignored it, it would go away. But there are some things you just can't ignore, you know? That's one of them. Because it's just irritating. And he knows it, so he does it. But it's okay. He is a good bird. He is a good boy. He can manipulate me if he wants. But you can see why we had to buy all that wood. We just got in 754 pieces of which about 600, roughly 600 is all wood, and it'll be gone. If we get a place that has a workshop, I can start cutting and drilling again. Although I've found these guys do the job for probably less than I can. Bob.
Do you even need to cut up the pieces of wood? Can't you just buy just a massive slab from Home Depot and then just give them the entire thing and they can chew it up?
They don't really like it like that. You know, they want to see it with holes in it. This one likes to have a hole in it. See, when he grabs a piece of wood, he wants that. They like to have them hung on the way I hang them up, so that they can hang on the toy and start tearing them up. You can sometimes get away with it. Bob chewed his, he had a 2x4 in there as a perch. He chewed it up. He turned it into toothpicks. So I put a rope perch in there. He's got a swinging perch and a rope perch, but such a tiny cage for such a big bird.
And a big busy bird.
And a busy bird, yeah. If I could get him back into a size like what Cecil's in, but looking at 2 to 3 more months of this. Oh.
Sabrina has joined the chat, so hello, Sabrina. And Sabrina has a question. She says, what are some recommendations on teaching your adopted cockatoo to be more confident?
Well, I've done that several times. The best thing to build confidence is to train your bird to do what other people call tricks. But you know, when you send a small child to school like kindergarten and they learn about colors and they learn about how to draw and all that, you know, and when you really look at it, it's just a bunch of tricks until they get older and they can put that together. So when you're working with a bird and you train, the first thing you train is target, to get them to follow your hand. Okay. So once they realize that they can do some behaviors and be rewarded for them, they start to build confidence. So first thing you want to train is to follow your hand wherever you put it. He's looking at it right now. I don't have anything there, but you'll show them, you'll bait them, you'll have something there that you take out of their diet. I must have said this 1,000 times, but it's good to hear it. You take a tray of treats like sunflower seeds, some cashews, almonds, other types of nuts, maybe sunflower seeds, papaya, pineapple, all that. And see whatever, put the tray in front of them in the morning before you put their food out and see which item they grab first. And take that item out of their diet. That becomes the training food. It may change over time. You may have to change to a different one, do the same routine, put the tray out and have them pick. And give it to them at any other time. And so what you're going to do with that is just put it in front of the bird, right? Close enough to the beak, like that. I can't really do it here, but that close. And then the bird takes it. Good bird. I don't use clickers. And there's a good reason for that, because if a bird picks up that sound, then you're not going to be able to train the other birds. Not likely they're going to pick up good bird, you know, so I use good bird. But so when they take it, you say, good bird. You want to do that loudly. And later on, I usually use, that's called a final bridge. But there's an intermediate bridge too, where you say good bird in a low tone of voice. You know, of course, it can be any phrase. You know, you could say abracadabra or whatever, but I use good bird. So what you want to do with that is when you know that when you're doing a bunch of different behaviors you're training, okay, or let's say you're doing toenails and at the end they get a treat. So you say good bird, as you finish up each toenail, and when you get to the end, you go good bird and give them their reward. The intermediate lets them know that they're going to get the big reward at the end. Okay, you're not saying you're getting it now, so you have to differentiate. One's much louder, one's fairly soft. Okay, so you train to target to your hand, and then everything else you train comes easy. You want them to step up. You're going to put your hand out, do this, right, and they'll come over for it. Eventually, you can get rid of the bait. You can just do this. They'll come over. You'll say, good bird. Now, here's something that everybody needs to know. You don't say good bird when they stand on your hand, because you're rewarding them for standing on your hand. You say good bird as they just step up and start to get on your hand. Okay, that's when you say it. If you want to reward the behavior they're doing, and if they're just sitting on your hand, you're not teaching them to step up. Okay, targeting is easier because you're moving around a bait. You start off close, you slowly pull it farther out, so you have to lean. Then you start moving it around in different positions as you offer it, and then you know, different positions all around, behind, all this stuff until you get them where they'll follow your hand. And then you can start really, where if they're on a perch, you're over here, you get them to come over to this side of the perch and then that side of the perch. And that builds the confidence. because they know that when they're done with the behavior, they're going to get rewarded. And what you're training them is real confidence, because they realize that their choices get them what they want. Now, Coco, sadly, is no longer with us. When she came, she was quiet, docile, really didn't have much confidence. After a year of that kind of training, and you're talking like 3 days of minimum a week for 10 minutes. And if they get nervous, you stop early, right? If they're not doing it, you have them do something they already know, and you give them a reward, however simple it is. Do a couple of those and let them finish on a good note. But you don't have to give more than a half hour of your time a week. So it's better if you can do 4 or 5 days, but it's not absolutely necessary. Stick to the routine that you know you can do, and that will build confidence. It's called operant conditioning, because you're training them as an operant. Okay, an operant is someone who makes choices, right? So the operant is making the choice to do an action based on the cues it's seeing. The cue is, and you've got this treat. Eventually, the cue will just be your hand like that, and then you'll just put your hand up and point to where they're going to go, and then you can even put up targets, little things that they can go up and touch. So you're training them to target on objects and just point and say target, and they'll go to something. So that at that point, you can teach them to do things like go around in a circle. Okay, by using a target on a stick, you can get them to go around in a circle and train them to do that. To follow a target that's in your hand that has something on the end to draw their attention. That will all build confidence. If you want confidence in a bird, training is the best way. And if they're nervous inside the cage, then you want to come by and give them a treat on occasion, like 4 or 5 times a day, just a little piece of something, that one item that you, and that's called come bearing gifts. And then the other thing is to look at them through the cage, protected contact. If they're nervous, look at them. When they're looking right at you, after a second, give them a treat. Do that for about a week, and then make it 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Keep slowly extending it. Use a watch, keep track. They can tell time better than we can. And you can get a bird to sit there for 60 seconds just and look at you. And when you've got that, you have a lot of confidence from that too. Because during that whole interaction, they're sitting there and actually paying attention to you. And there's no threat. They don't feel threatened. So, and give them the treat. Yep. There's some examples of that on Jennifer Zelig's YouTube channel, but I'm not sure what the name of the channel is. I could put that in the show notes if somebody's interested, because she does show you how to train targeting. She's doing it on seals, but it doesn't matter whether it's a seal or a sea lion or a cockatoo, it's the same kind of training. You're just dealing with different species behavior, but it's the same thing. Target training is target training. Let's see. Oh, well, our hour is up, so I have to try to put these birds back in their cages and get out another pair. Try to get everybody out and as happy as I can for today and tomorrow. But thanks for being here, and we'll see you. Well, for those who want to see the raffle, we'll be here tomorrow at 12, right, Amy?
Oh, I need to put that in my calendar.
Yeah, tomorrow on 12, our lucky fairy mender, we hope he will do it, will pull the winning ticket. So everyone who wants to see it, even if you haven't participated in the raffle, but maybe you're like to see Mender being a lucky fairy, join us tomorrow at 12 PST.
And thanks for being here with us, and thanks for everybody who's helping us. So we'll get out of here. It's just we're gonna have to fight a few more months, but we'll get out of here and get a place for these birds.
Thanks for the stream, Don. And thanks for taking
I could sleep in a teepee myself. Oh, thank you, Eleanor. Thanks for being here with us and putting up with just 2 birds on my lap. 2 birds.
Mm-hmm.
2 birds. 2 birds.
Oh, but they're such good boys.
Oh, they are good boys, aren't you?
Two birds,
Are you a good
hundreds
boy?
of personalities.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to see if I can get in position to actually turn off the stream. It's hard to sit up. The other thing about this chair is it has these rubber, like a rubber rope holding everything together as elastic. And if they chew that, that's the end of the, well, it's not the end of the chair, but Dad